Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. My name is Savana. I am the owner and operator of Pause and Relax mobile pet grooming and Reiki services, and today I'm going to be showing you how I keep matted dogs fluffy. Now, don't come for me. We are not going to be dematting these dogs, and there's only certain situations where this is possible, but I'm going to get into all that in the video and also explain why you might do this instead of just shaving them. So, just stay tuned. Okay, so today I'm going to show you guys how I wave my magic wand and take Rook from looking like this to looking like this. Now, this discussion might more so be for newer groomers or any groomers that haven't really thought about things this way or haven't been shown this as an option, but I'm sure lots of experienced groomers have done this before. So this is Rook. Right now I'm showing you that on the one side I've already done a pre-shave. I've shaved out his armpits, and then on this other side I am showing you what the matting looks like. So I have already taken a longer blade through the rest of him. I was using a 5/8 blade, you can see on his back there, and then I just stop in the areas where it starts to hit the matting and the blade doesn't go through. Do not force your blade to go through matting. This is when a dog could get cut. So I'm starting with a pre-shave before the bath. Like I said, I did a 5/8 on his back in the areas where he was not matted. Now I am going to get through the matting in the longest blade that I can. So right now on the backs of his legs, I'm able to get through, I think it was either a 4 or a 5. His armpits and groin, I needed to use a 7. Many groomers will kind of skim the inside of armpits with a 7 anyways, because it is one of the most common areas to get matting. And personally, my favorite blade for groins is a 7. So, what I am trying to do here is get the longest blade that I can through his fur using kind of an ice cream scooping motion. So we're getting out all the mats, we're making sure the blade is gliding through, but also keeping it as long as possible. Now quickly I want to talk about why am I actually trying to save this coat? In the grooming world, we talk a lot about matted dogs, which is so fair. Having matted fur can really impact their health. But this dog is not pelted. He just has some tangles and mats in certain areas. And also, I feel like sometimes we need to have a little bit of leeway with owners. This dog is usually kept very fluffy. His mom is able to brush him, and she does an amazing job keeping up on him at home. She situations changing in her life, and she wasn't able to keep up on brushing. So for this groom, I'm giving her the benefit of the doubt that things will go back to normal. I'm going to keep him as fluffy as possible. That being said, if I do this to him now and he continues to get matted or even more matted than this, then the fluffy option just won't be an option anymore. You are going to encounter situations where A, this type of groom isn't even possible because they are so pelted and matted all over that they have to be short, or B, you have repeat offenders where they're just not given the option. The dog's going to be short all over. Okay, so here I'm going to show you a comparison of Rook. On this side, he has just been dried. You can see that his fur is longer in some areas, shorter in some areas. This is before we have done the final cut with blending, but all of his mats are gone. On the other side, I have completely blended everything in. Obviously, there are some areas that are a lot shorter, like in his armpits and his belly, etc. But once I use a guard comb that is similar to the longest length I was able to use on his back, he blends in pretty well. There's a spot on his front leg here that is a lot shorter when you look up close, but overall he is still able to be fluffy and not as short as a 7 blade like I used in his armpits. Now, pre-shaving, some groomers like to do it, some don't. Some groomers in this situation with Rook might have just popped him in the bath, used certain dematting products, and tried to use the high velocity dryer to loosen up some of the matting. And honestly, it's just a matter of preference. I find that the pre-shaving works well for me. So, yeah. But if you guys have any products that you love to use for matted dogs, obviously not pelted dogs, leave them down below in the comments. So I have a couple clips coming up here of two different dogs where I've done a similar kind of groom on them, where they just have light tangles and matting that I just shave out and blend in. And then we'll jump back into Rook's groom where you'll be able to see me actually doing the blending of his fur. These next clips are slowed down time lapses, so right now I'm just giving him a good brush out, trimming his bum, sanitary, and shaving his belly because he was quite matted there. I'm also skimming down his legs with a blade and then going in with a snap-on guard comb as close to the length as I can to the longer back fur to kind of help it all blend in. Moving on to his tail, it fortunately was not too matted, so we were able to leave it very fluffy. I shake the tail in all different directions and just keep trimming until I like the shape of it and so that it's all even. And then here you're just going to see a lot of scissor work. We are shaving out the pads, lots of straight shears, and lots of thinner work, just trying to blend in that fur as much as possible, make it as even looking as you can, even though some of the areas are technically shorter. And honestly, he also has really nice fur to work with, so that is helpful as well. Now, something I want to note is that some groomers might be cringing at this entire video, hearing owners in their head say, just shave out the matted parts. And while it works out well in some of these cases, sometimes the dogs end up looking something like this. Now, this is just a picture from Google, but it just kind of shows that sometimes the dog is too matted in areas to just shave out the matted places. So right now his legs are completely shaved, so maybe he was matted there, and just very choppy. So while you could go in and try to blend this, he might kind of look like a turtle, which also reminds me of this photo. I have no idea the actual backstory of this photo, as it is also from Google, but I have been in situations where if I just shaved the matted portions, which were completely pelted, legs and belly, then the dog would have looked very similar, like a turtle. Okay, so jumping straight into his after, I did a cute little teddy bear head. He didn't really have any matting on his face or head, and this was more so about his body and how I do that anyways. And in a second, we'll do a side-by-side before and after. But you can see on his chest, it's a lot shorter there. His neck actually had to be shorter as well. This thicker fur really helps him out, where from further away, you can't really tell that it's uneven. And then this back leg, you can see that it's not totally even all over. There's areas that are shorter, but he's still left fluffy. Now, if you compare the before and after, I don't have a true before video of him because I had him partly shaved. He is not as long as before, but he's also not a 7 shave down. So I'm very happy with how this groom turned out. Let me know in the comments below if you've ever done anything like this, if you have suggestions on how to work on dogs like this that aren't totally matted. And as per usual, thank you guys so much for watching this video. I love you guys so much. If you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button down below, and I hope to see you soon. Bye guys.